So, you know how you see all these superstars, children, they're raised with the best of the best, and some of them do have the opportunity to have mom or dad with them. Some of the football players, for example, they have children by multiple women, and for whatever reason, they're not necessarily in the child's life as they should be. Today we're going to look at an example of what happens when you just have no self-control and you got all kind of women lined up in your life. We're looking at Herschel Walker's son and Herschel Walker. Now, I think that if you consider the fact that he's about to, have some things going on here in the state of Georgia really soon, from the Republican standpoint, it would not be odd that he is currently going through what he's going through because, well, when you're a conservative and you are in this particular light and they need Georgia really bad, of course they're going to start to drag out everything they can. And that's what they've done with Herschel Walker. We're going to take a look at this. I want you guys to see his son. And then we're going to take a gander at a few other things. Mike, if you're still here, hello. All right, so this is Herschel Walker's son. These are some of the rants that he's recently had. I want to take a look at this one in particular. It says Christian Walker railing against deadbeat dads and Nick Cannon specifically as everything wrong with America on TikTok. It says here just 5 days ago, it says, get home and raise your kids and take care of the women you're knocking up. You can control the things. Here you go. Listen, let's just look.
So it's been announced that Nick Cannon is having his 9th kid, meaning he has 2 women pregnant at the same time. Nick Cannon is everything wrong with men in America. Get home and raise your kids!
Can you hear it,
Oh, so
Mike?
he's too busy banging women to take care of his current kids. He can't control his dingling. He's out hooking up with all these women, multiple women pregnant at the same time. What is this, his 5th, 6th baby mama? Get home and raise your kids and take care of the women you're knocking up. Can you control your thing for 3 seconds? I get it. You want to go bang everyone. Can you just stay home and raise your kids? Oh my gosh! Control your thing!
So that was the son of Herschel Walker. That's his son. Hey, Betty R. Hey, Camper Van Mark. That is his son. Let's go ahead and look at some more. Herschel Walker's son. All right, here's another one.
Fathers, it would be great if you stayed home and raised your kids instead of ran off to bang a bunch of women who weren't your baby mama. Stay home and raise your freaking kids. Your kids need a father. Get back home. Get back home. If you take out your thing and you get a woman pregnant, guess what? The party days are over. The acting foolish days are over. You go get a freaking job and you support your new family. Get home. Raise your kids. Kids need a man in the house raising them. They need a good dad. They need a loving father. And while you're out taking shots of vodka and tequila, living your high life, your kid is suffering. Get home. Get home. Raise your kids, fathers. Get home.
So there's obviously some issues here that we are not even going to deal with. But what I will say is, he's absolutely right. Dads are needed, and they definitely do need to be at home. There is another one where he is directly, I cannot find it. I'm not sure if it's because people pulled it or what, but he is directly speaking to his father, speaking with regards to his dad. And that one is one that I was not able to find. But what I will tell you is they are pulling out every stop as it relates to Herschel Walker right now. They are making sure that they are doing everything that they can to prevent people from voting for him. Now, I don't have a dog in the hunt at all where he is concerned. But what I will say is it's obvious that this child needed his daddy. Okay? It is very obvious that this child needed his dad. But here's what I want to say. When they consider this, to me, Oh God, let me just you guys know how my mind works, but I'm not even going to go there right now. I'm going to show you more, not necessarily about the son, but I want to show you some text messages that show some family issues that was going on with them. So it says here that text show family strife between Herchel Walker's wife and a woman who alleged that he paid her for a deletion, to do a deletion. All right. Um, Herchel Walker, the Republican nominee for Senate in Georgia, claimed he confirmed for the first time Friday the identity of a woman who has claimed that he paid her for a deletion 13 years ago. Now, you see, we use specific words so that we don't have any issues with any algorithms. And that's the purpose for me making sure that I say it correctly so that you guys get it, but that I don't inevitably get it, if you know what I mean. So he said that he paid her 13 years ago when she leveled allegations in a text message to his wife. In a brief interview with NBC, Walker said this was also the first time the woman, who is the mother of one of his 4 children, mentioned to him or his wife that she had a deletion. Quote, "Did you know Herschel paid for my deletion the first time? Or that he told me that it wasn't the right time to have her current child," the mother wrote in a 9:45 a.m. text that was sent Friday to Herschel Walker's wife Julie, who initiated the conversation. Now this is him, obviously. It says in response, Julie Walker acknowledged that she had tried to be a mediator between Herschel and the woman, who seldom corresponds directly with her son's father. Quote, "This message makes me incredibly sad. You know, I have continually tried to bridge a better relationship between you and Herschel, putting the child first," Julie Walker wrote to the woman, who did not return messages to NBC News requesting comment. The Walker campaign provided copies of the new message exchanged to NBC hours before the New York Times published the interview with the woman, who alleged that Walker had paid for the 2009 deletion and tried to pressure her to delete their young son. NBC News is withholding the woman's child's name to protect their identities, the woman and the child's name. Now, here's a quote. "The first I knew about any of this was when some reporter asked me about a deletion, and I'm like, no, that's a lie. And then I was asked if I paid for a deletion, and I said, no, I did not pay for a deletion," said Herschel Walker. I'm not trying to say, I'm not saying she did or didn't have a deletion. I'm not saying I don't know anything about that. I don't know. Herschel Walker, who often limits interviews to conservative news outlets, added that "I have nothing to hide. That's why I'm talking to you," close quote. The messages his campaign provided between the woman and Julie Walker dated back to May of 2022. The messages provide a raw glimpse into the corrosive effects of a political campaign on a family whose relationships became increasingly tense as details about the former football star's personal life were reported. From the 4 children he had with the 4 different women, or in this case baby mama, to violent episodes in his past. The woman claims first reported the woman's claim first reported Monday by the Daily Beast rocked Walker's campaign and left top Republicans wondering if he could survive the allegation, which called into question the conservative credentials of a candidate who maintains he's devoutly anti-deletion. Now, Herschel's older son, social media influencer Christian Walker, then denounced his father as a liar and a hypocrite and criticized him for having multiple children. I hope at the end of this story they show the I think it was either TikTok or Instagram that he did, because that's the one that I can't find. In the first place that I had seen it. It says earlier in the campaign, Christian Walker appeared to support his father and joined him during at least one event. According to the text messages, the woman also expressed early support for Herschel Walker's campaign, especially in the run-up to the May 24 GOP primary, when Walker first began running as an anti-abortion conservative. Now, quote, "He'll do great and you will keep him focused. Proud of you guys, the woman wrote to Julie on the day of the primary election, wishing nothing but the best for you tonight. The night after Herchel Walker's win, the woman texted again, congratulations. The messages between the two women once were peppered with friendly chatter about the boys' overnight camp or waning interest in Pokemon. It grew increasingly tense as the woman began fielding calls from reporters about Herschel Walker's children with different women. After the primary, the woman warned Julie that she had been contacted by a reporter and asked Julie Walker if she should tell the press that the candidate complies 100% with a support agreement. Days later, on June 15th, Julie Walker shared a series of suggestions with the woman about how she could respond to the press inquiries. Those messages came a day after the Daily Beast published a story about one of Herschel Walker's previously publicly unacknowledged children. The woman replied on July 7 when she asked, quote, any more surprises we should know about? It appeared to be veiled reference to the two Daily Beast articles reporting that Walker had two additional previously publicly unacknowledged children. Wow, those sound like a lot of contradictions, but anyway. And that he had lied to the campaign staff about it. In a statement to the Daily Beast in response to the report about the additional children, Walker said, quote, I have 4 children, 3 sons and a daughter. They're not undisclosed. They're my kids, close quote. He added that he has simply chosen not to use them as props to win a political campaign. What parent would want their child involved in garbage, gutter politics like this, close quote. Walker's campaign declined to comment to the Daily Beast on the report about lying to his staff, and his campaign manager criticized the reports as pure gossip. In the Friday text message exchange between the two women, the woman explained that she did not know about another of Walker's children, saying that the boy was a surprise to us all in the rest of the family. Julie Walker said in an interview that the paternity stories about Walker pitted people against each other in the family. The woman showed the New York Times and the Daily Beast a copy of a $575 receipt from an Atlanta deletion clinic that she said was given to her after her 2009 procedure. And she showed the outlets a copy of a $700 check that she said was a reimbursement check from Walker. In addition, she provided the outlets with a copy of a Get Well card bearing a handwritten message signed H, along with the message, pray you're feeling better. Both outlets reported they corroborated the details of the woman's deletion accusation with a close friend who supported and consoled her during both pregnancies and after her first one. Walker told NBC News that he doesn't remember sending that card or check. Quote, I don't remember any card or a check or anything, but I was dating her. I could have sent some money. I could have sent a card, but not for the reasons that she's saying, closed quote. The New York Times also interviewed a friend of the woman who said that she took care of her after the 2009 procedure and then supported her through her pregnancy only 2 years later. The woman told her that Walker wanted her to delete the child she ultimately kept, the Times reported, which Walker also denied. Walker's profession of strict anti-deletion views were too much for the mother to and involved in the text exchange to bear. It was just too much for her to bear, she told the New York Times, saying that she's a Democrat. And the fact that I had a choice now, now he's in the public trying to say he wants to put a ban on them completely, it appalled me, she says. She says, now that he's in the public eye and he has the opportunity to speak about it, now he wants to ban them. And so she says she's now appalled. She's appalled. But Walker said the woman knew, I am a Christian, while also acknowledging the long-standing tensions between the two of them. He said, quote, she's been angry at me for years, and it's very difficult. She's a big, big advocate for deletion or abortion rights in this case, as the quote states. She said that, he said. So it's a lot of he said, she said. A lot of mess is what this is. Julie Walker didn't question the woman's motives and instead said that, I'm sad. I'm taken totally back. I want Herschel to have a relationship with his kids. And now this is just tough. So, what say you? Do you guys feel like they are doing a lot of this right now, specifically because he is running for this office and we're getting awful close to November? Do you think this is going to affect him at all? Do you think that people are going to say, well, irregardless to what you pull out, we are still going to support him because we don't want the other? Are they going to, in this case, use the lesser of the two evils that they normally use when it goes down to, stamping or putting their vote of approval or their thumb of approval on a vote for whomever? I wonder. But what I can tell you is that they better do something quick there in Georgia if they decide that they really do want to keep it red. If they really, really want to keep it red, they better do something fast because I see it heading past this purple hue that it has currently to an onslaught of blue. That may not happen. And I know the people who live there probably who are red-minded, they probably hope that it won't happen either. But I just don't know. There is another story, and I want to see if I can find the clip. I've been looking and looking. I'm looking at this one here. But his son, I don't understand this whole thing. Did you see the kid? Did you really see the child? I mean, I don't want to talk about the kid, but what I want to say is, are you serious? You literally did not have enough. There's a lot of these oh God, I don't know how to say this without seeming crazy, but I'm gonna say it because I really don't care. How can you have all of these children, gentlemen, and not think about the ramifications of your absence? I'm not on Herchel Walker's side. I'm not on nobody's side. Now, this is just me saying that it is apparent that this little boy spent a lot of time with his mother, spent a lot of time with a lot of feminine energy, specifically the fact that he is very, very flamboyant. Now, let's just start there, Herchel. And I don't know if this guy was propped. Here's what I do think that Herchel Walker was put up for this time. I do believe that he was handpicked and hand selected to be the voice of conservatism for the Black community. That's what I believe. I believe that instead of them getting somebody who was genuinely an individual, who was a man who had melanin in his skin and who was 100% sold out for the conservative values that the Bible speaks of, they elected to go get this man who they already knew had some stuff going on in his background. Okay, I'm not going to tiptoe through the tulips like I was a second ago because I was trying to be very polite. But I'm going to go ahead on and lay it right down here. Like my friend girl says, Black Spring Will Autumn. She said her dad used to say, put it right down here where the cows can get it. I'm going to lay it right down there. They chose and elected this cat because they knew that they could do the sabotage that they're doing right now. There is no way on this planet that you're going to tell me somebody's going to run for an office and that you don't have the access to anything that is in his background. Okay, not in Snowden's America, according to Snowden. You hear me? There's no way possible you're going to tell me that you did not know that this man had this checkered past. And there's no way that you're going to tell me that you didn't know that they were going to pull all this stuff out only a month before the November primaries. There's no way. There's no way. This was done on purpose. Why? Because it is a goal to turn Georgia blue. It is a goal to get right there in the middle of the dirty South, right there in the middle of what they consider a Bible Belt, and destroy it and annihilate it 110%. That is what I truly believe. So they can tiptoe with all these stories that they're putting out right now. He can act like he doesn't know, like he's just one dumb jock. Well, I didn't know that she was going to do this. Hey, Dub Will. Well, I didn't know that she was going to do that. I didn't know any of this stuff. Oh, really? She did that? Really? Nah, man. The deal is whether he knew it or not, whether he was a willing participant, or whether he really honestly felt like they like me. They really want me to run. Run, Jesse, run. Run, Herchel, run. If that's what they really, truly, and honestly felt, that they're going to go ahead and get him, and he really, truly, and honestly felt, they want me to represent them in Georgia. Can y'all believe it? Whether he's innocent, whether he knows about the plan or not, I'm saying, your plan, my man, backfired in y'all's face. The plan backfired. The plan backfired. It backfired because either you're going to get your rump in there and then you're going to have to really live up to the task, which you're not going to be able to do. Okay? Or they're going to completely pummel you, use you like a rag dog, like a rag doll, being mauled by a dog in the middle of a bullpen. And then you're not going to have your own personal reputation to have later. You're not going to have a personal reputation. They're going to jack you around, dude. So with the son that is flamingly, flamboyantly gay, I'm very concerned that he is out here now touting his father as the worst thing ever. He started out with all this other stuff, telling everybody about how awful, it was for men to have these children and not take care of their kids. I want you guys to see that for those of you who are coming in. Dub Will, if you're still here, I want you to see this. Betty R, Mike, hey, Marty, hey, Hal, I want you guys to see this again. We're going to show it again. For those who weren't here, that were not able to see it, I want you guys to take a quick gander at his son. I want you all to take a look at why I feel the way that I do about this kid and about the father, about the situation, the circumstance, because to me, he was not the best representative to pull out. That's how I know that this stuff cannot be real. This whole thing had to be planned from the first place. If you were truly and honestly going to support anybody, why wouldn't you pull out the best one to support? Hey, Rusty, why wouldn't you pull out the best one to support? Why would it have been Herchel? Okay, who convinced Herchel that he needed to run, Jesse, run? Who convinced him of that? I really want to understand who convinced him of that. This child has obvious issues. And yes, I said issues. He's got obvious issues. All right? Obvious. You're not a victim when you sleep with a married man, Herchel Walker titled a recent episode on his podcast, Uncounselable. He has criticized an Instagram model for her alleged affair with the singer Adam Levine, who he noted had a pregnant wife and children at home. It's just an oxymoron coming from him, is all I want to say. I get it. I get it. You can have conservative views and be of any walk. I get that. I get it. But what a slap in the face. All right. Not going to have any more rants. I'm going to go ahead and finish this, see if we can't get back to where we were when we had those, when I had all of the tweets that he did. So that's not that one. Maybe it's this one. I think it is this one. I hope it's this one. Hope I didn't delete it. But my problem is the fact that, yeah, he's going through some things. He's going through a few things. I just don't see where I would have had him as the first candidate. If I was still living in Georgia, I would not have, I wouldn't even be supporting Herchel Walker. First thing is the majority of the football players that I've ever known was all hoes. All of them was hoes. The ones that I knew when I was coming up. I'm not saying that they all are right now, but I'm not shocked by anything that's going on in his life. And anybody who hung their hat on him making it, really, truly, and honestly, you don't know how to judge or vet people, obviously. Go through a little bit more in your life and you'll learn just how. So let me see. Here you go. I hope everybody is doing good today as I take a little bit of your time to find this story that we just had with all of the tweets that was in it. Of all of the quotes. Let me see if I can just find a video of his son. Herchel Walker. All right, there we go. Calls his dad a deadbeat. Is this a video? I want to see a video. This is TikTok. This is somebody else. Oh. This is October the 3rd. Hold on. All right, so here he is talking on. I found something good while I was looking. I found him speaking on Fox. All right. All right. I found him speaking on Fox. So let's just see. Something is, why would you put this child as the spokesperson for your campaign or anything? Why would you do it? Is this Fox? Yes. Good. All right.
Serious evidence that it was the Clinton campaign and Hillary Clinton acolytes that were directly involved in the generation of what has proven to be a conspiracy. Untrue. I find myself in awe, gobsmacked, flabbergasted, and startled by these revelations that Russiagate was a Democratic conspiracy.
The truth is finally coming out. That was comedian Russell Brand, a self-proclaimed liberal, admitting to his 3.9 million YouTube subscribers this week that President Trump was right about Hillary Clinton and the big lie of Russia collusion. So is the left finally seeing the big lie? Joining me right now to unpack it as political commentator Christian Walker and Louise Burke, a veteran book publisher.
So that's his son.
All Seasons Press for conservative authors. Great to see you both. Thank you so much for being here. Christian, what's your take? We had Russell Brand. We had Nicki Minaj complaining about the vaccine mandates. You've got every once in a while Bill Maher say truth, Matt Taibbi. What's your take on all of this?
Maria, I think it's the left's aggressiveness that's begun to shake people awake to their lies. We have the cancel culture. We have lies like the Russiagate lie, the big Russiagate lie. We have the terrorist attacks, also known as the BLM riots that overtook our country for months on end, that the left encouraged. People have had enough of this, but a lot of everyday Americans are scared to voice their dissent because of this violent tactics the left uses against people. But I think if we see celebrities start to take up the front lines and use their public platforms to voice their dissent, we're going to see a domino effect, and we'll see every American start to do the same, which is super exciting.
Well, it's incredible, Louise, that if you say anything, you get bullied and run down by the mobs. You experienced it yourself. You are a professional in the publishing industry, you worked at Simon & Schuster and ultimately decided, I'm out of here, and you started All Seasons Press. Walk us through what happens. Jay Leno admitted that comedians now have to adapt jokes to fit cancel culture, Louise.
My fear is that the cancel culture has become a catchword, catchphrase that we all accept. And in reality, we should be fighting back. We started All Seasons Press so that we would be able to counter these shutting down of opposing views. This is America. It is our right to speak. It is the right of people in the Trump administration to publish their works and their books. And I really feel that if you ask someone like Gordon Klein, a ACLU professor of 40 years who was shut down because he chose not to go lenient on his Black students' grades. And he found it patronizing and actually not a good thing for Black students. So I think this is the problem. We're not fighting back. He's suing the school, and I think that's great.
Welcome back. I'm with Christian Walker and Louise Burke. And Louise, you are publishing Peter Navarro's book as well as Mark Meadows' book. I saw Peter Navarro's cover in Trump Time. Looks great.
Peter's book in Trump Time is already breaking news. It's already garnered over 100,000 advance orders, and it reached number 3 on Amazon's ranking. It came out of the gate strong, just like Peter. It's a hard-hitting book that'll put you in the room with Donald Trump.
I love it. I love it, Louise. All right. Let me ask you, Christian, about UCLA. What are you hearing on college campuses? Tell me how cancel culture is evolving these days. Do you think it's resonating the truth tellers on college campuses or not so much?
Maria, college campuses have stopped teaching critical thinking. They're full-blown indoctrination centers. They teach white students to hate their skin color, Black students that they're oppressed, and everyone else to hate America. I'm a loud and proud conservative at my university, UCLA, and my classmates tweet about trying to beat me up on campus and assault me at my learning institution, all because I love America and I like strong borders, fully funded police forces, and I don't think I'm oppressed because I'm Black. It's really time we get our head in the game, because we can't be sending our future children to these indoctrination centers to hate everything good about our country. It's not sustainable.
It's absolutely unbelievable, Christian. Have you gotten any feedback since your father, Herchel Walker, the great Herchel Walker, announced he is running for the Senate? What's your take on the Black community in terms of what they want to see from leadership in the U.S.?
I think everyone's really excited that my dad, Herchel Walker, is taking the opportunity. And I think what's cool about it is he's already built this foundation of trust with fellow Georgians. They've watched his work ethic, his attention to detail throughout his entire career in and out of the state. So there's already a good rapport with them. And I think we're going to see a lot of people, even demographics that don't typically vote Republican, come out in support of my father, Herchel.
Yeah, what about the Black community? I know that there was a huge outpouring for really conservative values in the 2016 and 2020 elections.
I think the left is very gross to the Black community, demeaning, treats them like they're an other figure in the country, not like they're just average, everyday American citizens. And I think conservative values are beginning to resonate with them, and they see that it's conservative ideals that are in their best interest.
Louise, are they buying your books?
Oh, yes. And Peter Navarro's book, In Trump Time, is not even on sale for a month yet and already has all those copies ordered. So we're very excited, and we'll publish more.
Louise Burke, Christian Walker, thanks very much. Great to see you both.
Adidas
All right.
says its relationship with Ye West.
So I found his actual channel on TikTok. That video is not there. The one where he's literally going in on his dad. There are a couple of other ones. Angela Reed, how are you? And so I just feel like, listen, I see the plan. It is an open door to push multiple agendas by dealing with this man. First off, if you are a strong Black man, as you just saw my guest yesterday talk about what he felt like they were trying to do within the community with Black men specifically, and that was to knock them off their square, right? So if you do push this cat in, then you're going to see his son now quickly sway the Georgian voters, right? Quickly sway the Georgian voters to say, hey, listen, anything that he wants to do, let's do it. Because look, his son is X, Y, or Z. All right? He's X, Y, or Z. But this is Herchel Walker's child. You guys see watch out now. Watch out now. Let's sell him as completely conservative. Let's sell him as that. And now when they see that he's completely conservative, if they do let him win, now we're going to deal with the son's lifestyle and the acceptance of people across the board. Do you see this? Do you see it? I see it. I could be wrong. I'm probably, there's a strong chance. There's a very strong chance that I am. Strong chance that I ain't. But my point is that it is just ironic that this is his son that they've put in the forefront. I don't have an issue, a dog in the hunt with what you do. I'm just saying, for me, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. It's like an oxymoron. It's like an oxymoron to me. Am I tripping? You guys let me know in the chat if I just need to calm down, if I'm not seeing this right. Because to me, for that to be the son of a quote unquote conservative who's fun. Listen, they give us Herchel Walker, a man who is not. Okay? A man who is not with his baby's mamas. They give us that. Thank you, Zillerin. Thank you, Doug Will. Exactly. Okay? So they give you a man who is not with his baby's mamas. Black man. Strong, quote unquote, Black man, right? He's not with any of his baby's mamas. And then one of the babies that he had with one of the women that he did not marry comes out to be this gentleman right here, and that's fine. And what is this guy talking? Every single thing that's coming out of his mouth are nothing but conservative talking points. You don't see that as being a setup? That doesn't look like something that in the next 3-4 years is going to be a mess? You're not going to have anybody who is a strong Black man that has not raised any of his children, and this is his child that he had that was raised by another mama. Betty R says he's a sweetheart and I wish him well. You talking about the son, or are you talking about Herchel? the desensitization of a nation starts one person at a time. When we begin to say, I like this one, not you, Betty. I'm just giving an example. I like this guy. You know, they're like this, but I like them. I like them. Meanwhile, you put Herchel in a position to be a leader, and all of the kids want to be just like his son, who is very public. Then we get upset when this is what we get with your kids and your grandkids because they want to be just like Herchel's son. They put him out there. If he wins, they'll put him out there. Look at this strong black football player, Herchel Walker, who was a great American. He is a patriot. He's all of this stuff. And then, whoa, 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 whoa. Here's a son. Come on, kids. Everybody. Be like him. Y'all don't see it. I must be tripping. I must be tripping. I must be really tripping. Dub Will, are you still here? I'm going to put the link down here in case anybody decides, and I'd love to see you come up, Dub. I'm going to put the link out here so that anybody that wants to come on and see it can come up and talk with me, I should say. I'm going to put it right there. Hopefully you guys can duplicate the link when it comes out there. Rage Against the Machine, Mike, anybody be a part of this. Let's talk about it. This is the only way that we can bridge gaps. And from now on, this is what I'm doing. I'm putting the links out here so that you guys can have your voices heard. Okay? No worries, Dub. All right? I'm putting it out here so that everybody has a voice and you can say how you feel. And then we can all together dissect it and we can all bridge gaps because that's what needs to happen. That's what's not going on. What's not happening is there's people bridging gaps. What's going on is everybody telling you what they think, how they feel, and nobody, okay, nobody is actually having the conversations. Joseph Francis Burton, often thought of and missed. So good to see you. Betty R., click the link. Come on up here and talk to me, please, sister. You know, you and I, we talk all the time via, chat, Instagram, or whatnot. If you don't mind, you don't have to use your face. You can use your avatar like I am. Just log in and come on and talk. Yeah, I think that as far as aesthetics are concerned, he's a handsome kid. I think that he's a charming child. I just think that he is the product of a child who was, raised in a single parent home. All right? Okay? He was raised in a single parent home. You see? That's the problem. And this is the issue right here. He started it off saying to us, fathers, raise your children, be at home with your kids. We could have converted it. We could have converted it to my daddy was not at home with me and look at me. So here's the deal. Here's the question. Can we say that it's okay to be conservative and it is okay for people to be who they are? Yes, we can say that. But can we say that the representation of what they consider conservative should be represented by those who believe in the core values of a conservative, quote unquote, God? And those are the voices that should be pushed to the forefront to speak on behalf of those who have elected to follow said God. Is that fair? Yes, it will, Mike. And that is the reason why I am putting it out there. Okay? You've not said too much, but that is the reason why I'm putting the conversation out here. Because the jazz hands of it all and everything, these are the things that they are now slowly shifting and converting. So here's how they're going to get you, conservatives. Here's the rub. You want your conservative values? Well, let us give you some new mouthpieces. Let us give you some new individuals that will be the voice that we allow you to speak publicly. Thank you, Angela. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. So let me go over here and take him off mute and let's see what rant this is. Okay.
Starbucks, go shop, go to Neiman. I like men love when you're bitchy. Okay, they do. They love when you're not interested in them. They love to chase. So the best way to focus on a man and to get a man is to not focus on them and not try to get one. They will come after you when you're not even paying attention. Why do you think we always go, oh my gosh, it's always the guys I'm not interested in that want me? Yeah, they want you because you're not interested in them. Stop focusing on them. You'll get your man when you're not worried about it and you're not going after him. He'll come to you. Just let him do the work. Oh my gosh, I don't want to work. Do you want to work for a man? No, you just want to like live your life, drink Starbucks, go shop, go to Neiman Marcus, and let him come after you. Stop focusing on them.
What trad people don't seem to understand is feminism exists today because men misbehave. Women were at the house cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, while men were having kids with mistresses, cheating, living this double life. It got to a point where women were like, wait, so I'm just the maid and nanny? You're out here banging all these hoes, doing all this stuff on me, running game, and I can't go work. I can't support myself. I'm so busy at the house that I can't even get out of this relationship. I might as well go get a job and be independent and not need you. That's why we're at where we're at. It's easy for the trad people to look back in time and go, oh, that would have been nice, stay at home, whatever. Yeah, it'd be great if men did their
Men love when you're bitchy. Okay. I like buff men with tattoos, okay? I can't help it! Sorry, just needed to get that out. I like buff men with tattoos, okay? I can't help it!
Okay. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Thank you, A. Howell. Thank you. Thank you, A. Howell. Do you see? So we will now show them who we've always been, that there's not been two parties, but just one. And now it's time to unveil the backside of this Janus coin. Thank you, Ronnie Mann, for talking to us about Janus. Now it is time for us to reveal the duality of us. Now it's time to show them that you can have what we want you to have. And now, because we've got a foothold, we've got the opportunity to open it wide up and shove down your throat softly and gently by an attractive child who has your values. Shove down your throat our belief system by a well-versed, easy on the eye child. A child who's possibly just like you, raised just by your mama. A child who was confused. A child who was confused and needed help and didn't have his daddy there to help him unfold and unpack all of this. Hey,
Good
sis.
morning.
Morning, baby. What you think? I know you.
I think it's crazy.
It is crazy. He is a delightful kid, and I think that's what's going to be the easy sell for the conservatives. What do you say?
I say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he looks like he's got some dignity, and the father does not.
So do you think that you could see him in office in the next 5 to 10 years? What do you think?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Mm-hmm. I think that it's very possible that he could be. Thank you, Angela Reed, for supporting the channel. And I thank you so very much. For anybody else who's thinking about it and you're on the fence, you don't have to doubt. You can support the channel too. Thank you all for being here as well. But I appreciate you, Angela Reed, for taking the time to believe in the channel and support us. Um, so yeah, I feel like this is just a plot, because if you look at it in face value, if you didn't know that it was Herschel Walker's son and you saw him on that show with Fox and Maria, you would think to yourself, well, gosh, I see this kid is obviously, doing X, Y, or Z in his personal life, but listen to what he's saying. Listen, what does he feel
Yes.
about a lot of other stuff? Some of the things that we now are finding that are being pushed in the children's schools on a daily basis. What do we feel about that? How does he feel about that? Well, I don't feel like it's a problem. I wonder what he's got to say about that. I wonder what he talks a lot about, some of the things that he's projecting, which are the things that we can see that his father wasn't there. So he speaks very plainly about dads not being in the home. But what do you think he thinks about the other agenda? That's the bigger, Baphomet agenda.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think it's a big mess.
Betty R
Yes.
says she thinks it's a big mess. Okay. Mike says that he thinks that Barron Trump will be in office before him. Wow. Herschel was used to bring out the dark side of what is thought about Black men: violent, sexually promiscuous, absent from their children's life. Ahal put that very well. She put that together very well. You said that quite well. You guys see that? I have to agree. And so if he does not win, it was to put his son in the forefront. If he doesn't win, it is to put his son in the forefront. If he
Maybe that
does
was the
win,
plan.
right?
Mhm.
And if he does win, his son can easily spin off and do other things as it relates to being the spokesperson and mouthpiece for Republicans, for conservatives, because this is who they've always been. All of them. We've seen stories where there have been some conservative people out there in the Senate, or Congressman X or whatever, and then you see them caught up with people that they shouldn't be caught up with publicly in hotel rooms. Okay.
Yes.
So what's been going on in your neck of the woods? I see you doing a lot of stuff on Instagram. What's going on with you, Betty R? Tell us. And tell us where everybody can find you on Instagram or YouTube. Talk to us.
I've been so busy. I've been finding so much stuff out on a daily basis. It's unbelievable. I never know what I'm going to find. But if it wasn't for prayer, I wouldn't be finding it.
So I see there's a lot of things that you're looking at that's on Instagram, for example, where you've got a lot of split pages. You've got one person on one side and another person, like one person from one era on one side, and then you've got another person from the current era. Tell us about that.
Well, like Burt Lancaster and Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields looks identical to Burt Lancaster in every way when she was dressed as a man. I believe that these entities are not only, when you look at them from one era, they come back in another era as the opposite sex.
Huh.
I believe that's what that was showing me.
Mm-hmm.
And it blew my mind.
Mm-hmm. I'm pulling up your page now. Very, very interesting take on some of the things that she's posted here. She's got a lot of very interesting thought processes as it relates to a lot of the stuff that we're looking at. This was one that I woke up to today. I just got through seeing this one. And so, yeah, she does highlight a lot of things. But you know what? What I remember was there was a thing going around a while ago, and it had like Jay-Z and then it had a man who looked identical to him, like back in 1920s, back in the 1920s. And a lot of people here may remember seeing that, but it had him. So tell us, what are we seeing here?
Okay, you're seeing a woman from another era, the one on the right, and who she is today.
So who do you think these people are? How are they able to? What are? Tell us everything. Go ahead on, share it, and we're just gonna listen. Go ahead. I'm gonna
These
give you
are
next
these
3 minutes.
are
Go ahead.
they call it time traveling, but it's not time traveling as it sounds. These are the same entities. You heard of the canopic jars from the Egyptians?
No, I haven't. What's that?
The canopic jars had the DNA of the pharaohs. And these jars, they kept them safe so that they could be used to go into different bodies later on.
Huh?
They would clone.
Huh?
So this is the couple. This is the couple on the right.
Here?
On the right, the other picture,
Okay.
and this is who they are today. Go into the next picture, that one.
Huh?
But the really good one is the vampire. What's his name? There you
Here?
go, that one.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Bela
Yes.
Lugosi. I remember Bela Lugosi, the
Yes.
actor.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Bela Lugosi.
And what is weird is Trump's um, relative from Hungary. Him and Bela Lugosi are from the same place.
Like the same village or town?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Huh. There has been some type of conversation about time travel, and his uncle, who was really close, the one that they sent to retrieve all of the documents after Tesla passed on,
Yes.
all of the trunks, and then you remember I did the story last year or so dealing with the Dr. Erno. Oh goodness, I can't remember his name, but he was the one who did the Chrono visor, the chronovisor. And it was after that I saw that Warner von Braun, and Burton always gets me when I say his name like that, but it was Warner von Braun who was responsible for a lot of different technologies. Um, and so Trump's uncle went and took the boxes. They say that he took them and took them back to the to the United States government, which they are the ones that sent him. But the point I'm trying to make is that there were only several. There was, say, for example, 18 trunks and maybe only like 11 or something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers, but only 11 ended up going into the hands of the United States government. And it's understood that quite possibly Trump's uncle was able to retrieve this one thing that was a seer of time, that they could see back in time and edit things. And it was rumored, this is all allegedly, none of this stuff, this is all, now you talk about tinfoil hat fedora, that's what this is right now, right? But in any case, it was rumored that that is what he used when he conceded to say, let's just stop the vote, and they've stopped the vote, we're just going to see what happens, that he could see something. So there's a lot of stuff that went on with him. Now, so who is this guy here? Who is he? Joe Montega? Who is he?
Montaigne. Yeah.
Montega. I've seen him before. Where have I seen him before? He's an actor?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I've seen him before. Huh. Okay, and then, oh gosh. Wow, look at the shoulder width. I've never noticed that. You can put a head on each side of the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Now, what are we seeing here?
Okay, that's Michael Todd on the bottom, the bottom right.
Uh-huh.
And this other guy, I think I put his name there.
Here, I moved it. I'm sorry. Okay, there. Got it. So there is Michael Todd, Richard Bright. Michael Todd. Wow.
hmm Richard Bright's from Now.
That's him right here.
hmm
So why do you think they do this in the entertainment? What are you thinking, that they just reuse the same people for entertainment purposes?
These are the same entities from the beginning
Wow.
of time.
Huh.
That's why they know so much. I don't know if they are able to remember all their past lives. And don't get me wrong, it's not reincarnation. These are spirits
Hmm.
that use the human body.
Okay, so tell us about this picture as carefully as possible. Wow. Handsome woman.
Well, obviously, she has a big head, and the man has the bigger head and body.
Huh. Hmm. So this is the Bush family,
Yes,
and this is the mama, and this is the daddy here up at the top.
yes.
Wow. Wow. This is amazing. This is a very unique spin on all of this. Okay, so tell us about this. I said, knowing his anatomy of the second male and female, the male has the bigger head than the female, excuse me. Wow. So I know somebody is going to be thinking, well, how did they get here then? Somebody else had the child?
They're
Wow.
cloned
Okay. Wow.
because with the hormones and everything that they do, a lot of them become infertile.
You said here Bush Bundy, one and the same. They love to push
Yes,
fear.
they do.
Huh.
They're actors.
Huh. This is amazing. Well, everybody, the page on Instagram is MZ_RAMUS. I recommend, going over and just subscribing and taking a look at some of the other things that she's got here. It says here in 1958, when Donald was only 12, this series, Western, foretold how a con man named Trump would use fear to sell a wall in Texas. Is there audio on this? No?
No,
Okay. This is
no.
amazing. It's a Wonderful Leap, May 10th, 1958. Huh. Tell us about that.
That was a movie.
Okay, so this says as a New York City cab driver, Sam has to win a contest to get his own taxi medallion. Sam also has the help of a woman named Angelito, named Angelito, who knows about Sam and claims to be an angel. Okay, so the director was Paul Brown, writers Donald P. Belisario, I think it says, and showing all of the credits. Okay, so tell us about this. It's a Wonderful Leap, May 10th, 1958.
This is showing that Trump was a time traveler
How so?
because everything that has to do with Trump, they say it in movies.
Very unique.
His name is brought out. They disclose it.
Huh. Okay, so here's your note. It says there's a history of Mr. T in television. He is also known for his, what is this? Synchronicities? What is that?
Synchronicities.
Synchronicities, okay, of the number 58 room at the Mar-a-Lago, 58 floors at Trump Towers. He was also the 58th president, you say? Why the 58th
Yes,
president? Tell us that. How can he be the 58th president? Explain that to folks.
because he's the 58th president to be in the White House.
So you're considering the presidents prior to Washington.
I'm saying he was the 58th president to be in the White House.
Okay. Okay. All right. So here's a lot of stuff. So just go to her page and check it out. You don't have to agree with everything, but we can at least, look at some of it, and maybe you'll find something that is of interest to you. Miss Betty. Thank you, Betty R, for being here. Hey, King BJ, and everybody else who's coming in.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
So Ahal says he won the 58th election. Very good. Very good. So yeah, you guys support her. Go over to Instagram. She's got something up there every day, and she really got active here a few months back. Excuse me. Really, really got just like smoking. She was smoking. She was really,
Thank you.
you were going in, girl. You were going in. I appreciate you so very much.
I
And I'm
appreciate you
so
too.
glad to have you here as a part of the channel. You really make it very good. Whenever I see you in either chat, whether it's here or Headlines with a Voice, you make me very happy to know that there are people who, still believe in my work. And I appreciate that. It makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right by
You
being
are.
here,
Yes,
and I feel good. And I feel good. So I appreciate you, my love. Hopefully you can come back up, as I hope everybody will in the future. Just click the link and come on up. Let's everybody start to put our minds together, start to put our conversations and bridge the gap of information so that we can dispel all of the myths, all the stuff that they got out there about you and me and everybody. I just think it's important. Thank you, my love.
Amen. I love you. Thank
Love you too, baby girl. You take care.
Okay.
So you see her page there again. It's MZ_RAMUS. Go check her out. See what's going on. See what she's got. It's good to see what other people think. And that way you can, you may get over there and find out that there's something you thought, and here she's uncovered it. I was just thinking about the Enter the Stars on YouTube too, says Rusty. Rusty said that. So I want you guys to to take a look at this with regards to Christian Walker and his dad, his father, of course, what we were talking about with Herchel Walker. Just keep your eyes on it, because if he doesn't make it, they will push that son to the forefront. And if he does make it, then he will be the poster child for what can happen for you. You don't have to worry that your daddy ain't here. Look, this guy has become an analyst, or this guy is now going to run for X, Y, Z, and his dad is here, and he didn't have his daddy, but look at him. And it's not a secret that he absolutely is the complexion of the world. I think it's what is it? The 2050 person. He looks identical. Yes, they are, Zeb Johnson. They are. But I appreciate this chat, because even though, the rabbit holes do go deep, you guys allow people to have their thought process. And you can see, because here's the deal. When you're dealing with evil, evil doesn't have any boundary. Evil is just evil, and evil can do a lot of different stuff. And so it's when we close off our mind that we then become susceptible to whatever evil then pushes on us later. But if you can open up your mind and think, they could do X, Y, or Z, couldn't they? And it's based on this. Here's the funny part. If you remember back in the day, people used to talk about folks because they believed in spaceships and stuff like that, right? But then what happened? The actual government came out and said, hey, look, here's a boatload of documents. We're going to go ahead and unveil all of these and give them to you guys. We're going to declassify them. And on top of that, just a few years before, we gave you a space force. And yeah, do you guys remember there was supposed to be some space force or space oh goodness, it was like an organization for the United States government, and I heard von Braun's name mentioned with that. So it's just important. It's important for us not to discount evil. Don't discount it. You ain't got to believe in it and lead and let it follow, follow it. But you can definitely understand that if the mind can think it, then it can be achieved here in the earth realm. and that there is nothing new under the sun. All of the stuff that's been done, that's going on right now, has been done in the past. If you remember what Betty just said, it was in those capsules or in those jars in Egypt. Well, isn't it funny that you've got the that you've got all of these different giants and stuff that they found, and then as soon as somebody finds them, all of a sudden you got a specific government going and dragging that DNA out of those things, taking it. I know you found it, but we're gonna take it, and then they pull the DNA out of it. Come on now, y'all know. Zelrin says it reminds me of this verse. It says, "Now the brother shall betray the brother to death, and the father the son, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and shall cause them to be put to death." Okay, that's what she just shared. All right, you guys. All right, so I think we're good. Look what happened to society when we turned away. When we turned away from the gay people and not suppressed them. Huh. Well, the next time you guys see the show, please come up and talk. I heard someone in an interview call the orange man Mr. Naranga, Gilgamesh, like it was a good thing. There may be more to his statement than he knows. Shit. Woo, girl. Gilgamesh. Mr. Naranga? Gilgamesh? Revelations 12:11 authorized King James Version, verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto death. Good scriptures. Anytime you pull out the word, I'm happy about it. All right, you guys, we've been hanging out for a little over an hour here, and I'm not going to hold you any longer, but I will be back later on today. So you guys just keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out. Any information that you have that you want to send and you want to forward to me, our wonderful mod, Marty Lauderdale, has put down some information here. And let's see, want to go up here and give you this right there. If you want to send anything, the contact for me is right here, Felicia@FeliciaLockhart.com. And you can send any information, any links or anything like that. Here's something from Ms. Tree. 1, hey, sister, it's good to see you. Look up prenatal environment risk factors for genitalia malformations. Genital malformations in a population of 1442 French male newborns, a nested case control study. The things are scrolling up as I'm trying to read it. Case control study. Read the other NIH studies below. Men are really. You guys, I love you guys. You all are brilliant. What a blessing it is to be counted among you. Thank you. I want you guys to remember what we always say here on the Lockhart Perspective and any Felicia Lockhart Group publications, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. You guys take care of yourselves first, because there's only one of you. Then you can reach around and take care of everybody else. And until you and I see each other again, I want you to continue to be blessed. You take care. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. Helping you